Hello guys, this is your friend Shinobi Addict 2.0 and we are back with a new fanfic. Which is What If Tsunade and Mito Were Naruto's Girlfriend Part 1. And if you enjoy this fanfic then please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more fanfic like this. And now let's start the fanfic. Young Naruto Uzumaki, he was known as well, the village knucklehead or idiot many would call him. But yet here and now he lay there on the ground. Looking over him was Tsunade Senju, who was best known for being the granddaughter of the first Hokage and also the Slug Princess in Legacy. Naruto was given a mission to accompany Jiraiya, one of the third Hokage's former students and also known as Jiraiya the Great or the Toad Sage Jiraiya. Naruto gave his life to save Tsunade from being struck down by Kabuto and his master Orochimaru. Naruto was told the future of the village's fate lies within the rude and mean old beautiful woman, although he never warmed up to her. Naruto still gave his life to protect Tsunade from harm. Dark. Why is it getting dark? I hate the dark. It seems the kid screw up, and now I'm paying for it. Naruto inner demon, aka the Kyuubi, the nine-tailed fox whom was sealed inside his soul for 12 years. No, it can't be. No, not him, not again, no. Tsunade cried, tears fall down her face. It seems Naruto-kun wasn't able to survive, what a pity. Orochimaru chuckled watching Tsunade try healing Naruto wounds, but Kabuto got Naruto at the heart. The boy heart was slowly stopped, the beat of heart he dead slowly, his heart would soon stop, but before that Naruto look up at Tsunade and smile at her. He spoke his final words. Don't give up, Ba-chan, you can win this without me. I'm just gonna keep some Z's, so don't cry, and do me one last favor, will ya? The dying ninja asked. What is it, Naruto-kun? She asked, hoping to make his last wish come true. Don't die. The people of Leaf needs you, Ba-chan, and tell Sakura I love her, and tell Sasuke I don't really hate him, and tell everyone else I'm sorry. Goodbye, Ba-chan. I'll be back stronger than ever, I promise. Naruto spoke his last word as he died with a smile on his face. Yes, I will, Naruto-kun. Tsunade smile as Orochimaru and Kabuto escape. Jiraiya and Shizune soon recover, walking over to Tsunade, who was carrying Naruto in her arms. It would be right for him to be burying with them, she said as Jiraiya nodded. A fine Hokage that could have turned out to be, maybe in the next life, kid. See ya around, Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto's soul left his body, his soul fell down through the earth, falling down deeper he fell, going downward into the unknown. You cannot die. I won't allow it. Naruto heard the Nine-Tails voice. Naruto opened his eyes as he felt a warm light touching his body. Naruto felt this warm feeling. Naruto felt someone's hand touched his right cheek. The person's hand was soft and warm. Wake up. A woman's voice spoke. Naruto shot open his eyes. The first thing he sees is a large black tree above him. Naruto slowly got up from the ground. Naruto looked at himself and see he was different. The color of his skin and colors was different. All were colored light green. Naruto wasn't sure what was going on. But the last thing he remembers was his heartbeat stopped. Was this the afterlife? He wasn't sure, it didn't feel like the afterlife. Naruto stared at the giant black tree. There was something about this tree that felt off. He felt it. Naruto stared at the black tree again. He felt nothing but hollow from the tree. However, a voice spoke that caught Naruto's attention. The tree of death, it is often rare a soul appears before it after their deaths. You must be a special soul. Naruto turned around to see a person standing there. Much like Naruto, the person was green from head to toe. The person was a man wearing a cloak hood hiding his face. Naruto could see barely view of his face. The person had an undead look. His eyes were light green and his face was half scar. His body had a skinny tone. Naruto looked at the man's lower half to see he wore a steel belt with knives and small blades around his belt. Who are you? Naruto asked the hood man. Drave, the master of blades, and you are a lost soul. The man introduced himself. Lost soul, me? Naruto looked confused. Sorry, excuse me. I mean lost young soul. Drave said. Naruto glared at the hooded man. You're dead, lad. Sorry to say, but your life is over. Sad isn't it? He told Naruto. What? I'm dead. Naruto's eyes had the look of fear within them. Sorry to say, but yes. You took quite a blow to the chest. Whatever it was stopped your heart. Drave explained to Naruto. Naruto looked hurt. He was young, just a kid. He didn't reach his dreams, but at least he died with a good deed. He protected Tsunade, the woman chosen to be the next Hokage. He hoped she would give it even with his death. At least he hoped. Is this heaven or hell? He asked Drave. Neither, kid. This is the realm of the dead. You need to go meet the king. You needed to be judged before you can move on. Either heaven, hell, or here your fate shall be known. Drave explained to the young boy. Drave wasn't alone, he had a horse with him. However, the horse was dead, nothing but bone, but it was alive. Drave got on the horse as Drave helped Naruto onto the horse as they ride off through the land of the dead. Naruto looked back at the tree of the death. Naruto felt drawing to the death tree, he didn't know why, but he just did. Drave rode past the dead, the plains. Naruto saw destroyed buildings and also what appeared to be a large temple entrance. Drave rode past a large bridge to another as the bridge had 4 paths. Drave took the north path into the city of the dead. There were many souls Naruto saw, and much like him and Drave, they too were light green colored. Naruto saw some familiar faces as Drave ride, but Naruto dare not speak when he saw their faces. The familiar faces Naruto saw were Haku, Zabuza, and the third Hokage. Once through the city, Drave went across another bridge and stopped before a large set of stairs. The two got off the bone horse. What is this place? He asked the dead blade master. The eternal throne, the king of the dead lives here. Drave said. There's a king for the dead? The young ninja asked with a confused face. Drave nodded. Yes, even the dead needs a leader, a guild. He sends them to their fate. Be it here, heaven or hell, or to the well of souls. What he said is true. His voice is law, his law are our rules. Break the rules, your soul will be burned to ash. Drave explains and warned the young soul. Sound like a tough king. Naruto sweat drop. Tough isn't the words I would say. And that isn't the worst part. Drave sighed. What's the worst part? He asked Drave. Follow me and you will see. Naruto followed Drave up the stairs. They reached the top of the stairs and entered through a large door as they entered a small throne room. Sitting in the throne was the king. The king looked nearly like Drave but more human. His skin was light green like everyone. His eyes were white dead. He wore royal clothes a king would wear. He wore a crown like a king should. He had a beard to show his age. He was a dead king, but an old dead king. Drave kneeled down on one knee before the king. I have returned, my lord. Drave said. The Lord of Bones his title was, though many know him as the Dead King. His true name unknown even to his own people. Standing beside the king was a man who looked far more dead than the king. Unlike the king, his eyes were black. The Lord of Bones stared at the young Uzumaki. The dead king stared at Naruto for a while until he spoke. For someone who's dead, you smell like the living. The Bone King said. Naruto didn't speak, he remained silent. Though he wondered what the king mean by what he said. My lord. Drave spoke. You have done well. You may go, Drave. I have business with this soul. The Lord of Bones said. Drave rose up and bowed his head before he turned and left. What brings you here, boy? The king asked Naruto. I died, didn't I? He asked the dead king. You are here as a soul. But you smell like the living. You are alive, so I ask you. What brings you here to my kingdom? He again asked Naruto. Naruto wasn't sure what was going on here. He was dead, he was sure of it. Drave said he was dead. But the king said he wasn't. My lord is near death. The soul has given up, but body still lives. The body refuses to die. Somewhere the boy's heart still beats. The chancellor spoke. Yes, I know. This is rare. The dead king spoke. My lord, I believe it is best to send him back on his way. Surely this isn't his time, he is not ready to embrace his death. Having him here will surely be troublesome to deal with. The chancellor said to the king. I cannot send him back on his own, I cannot force a soul back. If he is still alive but his soul was brought here, surely he was spat out of the roots of the tree of death. King said as he looked troubled. If he was brought here through the tree, then he is. The Chancellor glared at Naruto. Yes. He is like the other one. The one who got away, but this one is different. Keeping him here will be trouble. We have no choice but send him back. King mumbled as the Chancellor nodded. But Lord, before we do that, why don't we have him take care of our little problem? Since he is here, why not make use of him? Yes. Chancellor whispered to the king again. The king nodded. Boy, what is your name? The king asked Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto said as he bowed his head, hoping the king wasn't going to burn or dispose of him. You are alive. But for how long? I am sure not. You will be returned, but before that could happen, you must do a favor for me. There is trouble that I need to be taken care of. The king told Naruto. What is it you have me do? The Uzumaki asked. There is a soul that has been causing trouble for us. Not too long ago, 2 souls escaped the city, but before that, long ago, nearly 100 years, a soul escaped from us. There is a rumor that there's a demon that steals souls. The king wants this found and killed. Bring me the remains of this demon and you will be sent back to the land of the living. The Chancellor explained to the young Uzumaki. If that's what it takes to send me back, I will do it. Naruto beat his chest with his right fist. The Chancellor looked at the king as the dead lord nodded. Naruto turned his back but stopped upon the king spoke to him. Boy, wait. You will complete this task but not alone. You are but a lost soul. You will need a guide for this journey. The king said. Naruto raised his left eyebrow, curious on whom will he send to help him. The Chancellor snapped his bony fingers as he spoke. The king is in need of your serves. Come out and serve him once more. A bright white light shined from the floor behind Naruto, seeing a person, or rather a spirit, raise from the floor. Naruto was surprised for what he saw. It was a woman, a very beautiful young woman, but a woman nonetheless. She had long, bright red hair and had beautiful blue eyes. She wore an elaborate, high-collared kimono. Her hair was arranged in buns with hair pins for her hairstyle. Upon being summoned after stepping forward, her appearance and clothes changed color to light green like the rest. The woman Naruto saw before him was outstanding beautiful. Her matched that of Tsunade's, whoever this woman was. She would be his guide on this journey. What is it you have me done, Lord of Bones? The woman asked him. The king will send this boy back to his still living body. But before that he will find the demon that steals lost souls. You will help him upon this journey, Mito. The Chancellor told the woman who was named Mito. Yes, my lord. Mito bowed her head and turned to look at the young ninja. Mito's smile was warm and peacefully. Naruto felt his heartbeat. He was trapped by her beauty. If she was around his age, he would ask her out in a heartbeat. Pleasure to meet you, I am Mito Uzumaki. She introduced herself. She bowed her head. Naruto Uzumaki, he said nervously. He completely fell deaf upon knowing she was an Uzumaki like him. Mito's eyes wide for a second as she blinked twice. Bit surprised the boy before her was a Uzumaki. Mito closed her eyes and smiled, knowing this will be an interesting journey. With their mission set and everything was told, the 2 Uzumakis left the eternal throne. My lord, why have this boy be the one? The Chancellor asked his king. He is one of the living. Having the living here is forbidden. This is the realm of the dead. Living souls are problem. Early souls are problem to deal with. Knowing their time ended early drives the soul mad or destroyed their minds. This boy sending him back before that happens will save us trouble. And also he carries a great soul within him and thousands of others. When he dies they will follow. A kingdom full of souls is something I would not deal with, again. The Lord of Bones sighed. Ah yes, very true, my lord. 5 years a whole clan that was slaughtered was brought seeking revenge. And before that nearly half of a village's souls were brought here as well. And also 30 years ago a whole nation was brought here. The human race is full of genocide, of war. The Chancellor chuckled. That may be true, but this human, his soul interests me. The Lord of Bones said with a look curious in his dead eyes. How so, my lord? The Chancellor asked. If the boy dies here, so does his body. Through the dead cannot die, he is still alive. What harm comes to him here comes to the body. He is still linked to the living world. If he dies, then well. The king paused but grew a frown. Hopefully it would not fill the city of the dead. The Chancellor sighed. Elsewhere. The plains of the dead. The plains were covered in white sand. The white sand was actually ash, the ash of those before the first ruler of the dead. This world was born so long ago. When this was creation, none knew. Naruto and Mito arrived at what appears to be an entrance to a ruined temple. But there was one problem. There was a way of opening the door of the temple, but in order to, the switch has to be pulled at the same time. So there are two switches. Naruto asked Mito. One in the north and south, both must be pulled together. Mito explained to Naruto. Is that reason you're here beside being my guild? This place has switches, doesn't it? He asked Mito. No, not just that, Naruto, but this is dangerous, and if the demon is here you will need help. Mito smiled at Naruto. Naruto looked away while frowning. Something wrong? She asked the troubled soul. No, he lied. You sure? She asked while staring at the young soul. I'm fine. Let's just hurry up so I can get out here. I'm not dead, yet. So I have no reason being here. He said, with a frown. Why don't take the switch on the north and I will take the south? She asked Naruto. Naruto nodded. The two Uzumakis took their paths. Naruto saw a switch on the north side of the temple while Mito found the switch on the south. Found it. Naruto yelled. Pull. Mito yelled. The two switches were pulled together as the sound of something being unlocked was heard. The two souls met up with one another at the entrance. May I ask you, Mito? Do you know what this demon is? He asked. I do not know, but I believed I know what it is. For it is a demon. But I think I know what it is. Mito said with a worry frown. What? Naruto asked. The demon who steals souls. It was born, or rather came to our world. Some cages would know it as the Reaper Death Seal. A voice spoke from far. The two looked back as Mito glared at the person whom was there. Madara. Mito spoke coldly. The person standing before them was Madara Uchiha, one of the founder of Konoha. And former head clan leader of the Uchiha clan. Like all in this world, he too was a soul. What do you want, traitor? She asked the old Uchiha. Madara didn't say anything, only smiled. He looked at Naruto and said with joyful look. So you are the new Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. Naruto's eyes widened in shock, as so did Mito. What? Mito yelled. How did he know? Naruto thought. My Sharingan, even in death its power is amazing. You are a bit young to be a Jinchuriki. My, what have they done with Jinchuriki like you in the world now? He wondered. That's none of your business. Naruto growled. I guess so, he said as he soon frowned while glaring. Naruto turned away and entered the temple. Mito looked back at Naruto with a saddened look in her eyes. Seem after your time. Those who carries the demon were treated differently, Mito-chan. The old Uchiha chuckled. Don't call me that, traitor. She glared. Oh really? If I am the traitor, then where is your dear husband and brother-in-law? Why is it? That child smells of suffering. You were treated well, Mito. I suppose Konoha broke the promise after your time ended. Madara said. Mito's glare made the old Uchiha laugh as he turned away and left, but not before he said to the Uzumaki. Love will never make the Nine Tails submit, only power will. The Nine Tails will be mine again, even in death. Time will come, you and all will see. And not even the Lord of Bones can strip me of my power for long. His threatening words were as Mito bit her bottom lip in anger. Even in death you're a pain in the Uchiha. Mito went inside the temple as the door shut behind her. She could see Naruto was far down the hallway as he stared at a large black door. Mito sighed as she wondered what Naruto been through. And what if Kushina, what happened to her? She wasn't dead, that's for sure. If she was, then surely she would have been here. This Naruto would be hers and Kushina's successor as a Jinchuriki, and yet why he leaks of suffering and not of love? And who is this Naruto Uzumaki? Was his Kushina's son or another Uzumaki found to be the host? These were the things running through Mito Uzumaki's mind. The temple wasn't much of a temple, there was but one room. The room was small, but in the middle of the room stood a large stone with the words marked on it. Given into life becomes death, given into death becomes life. One weapon, make that choice for all. Here now be thy worthy of thy weapon. Touch with one of between life and death. Naruto was curious what was within this stone. Naruto believed this was the demon's soul or a way of summoning the beast he believed. Naruto, wait, don't touch it. Mito yelled. But before Naruto could even touch it, an old voice spoke out, stopping Naruto. Touch that stone and you and body will be turned into ash. Naruto and Mito turned their attention to where the voice was coming from. There was nothing at first until out from a black hole was an old short man wearing an all-black outfit. But soon he too turned green like Mito. Who are you? Naruto asked. I am a keeper of secrets. The old man said with a chuckle. Naruto didn't like this old man nor his behavior. Naruto didn't like this world of the dead. If this world is where he goes upon his death, he rather live forever than stay in this realm. Mito stood in front of Naruto as she spoke to the old man. I am no threat, my dear. I simple stop your young kin from doing something foolish. The short old man chuckled. Her kin? What does he mean by that? Naruto thought. Forgive us, but we were sent. The old man stopped Mito by raising his right hand up. To be rid of the demon that steals souls. Yes, I know of the demon you speak. The demon you seek is no longer here. It has been consuming souls and offering deals with lost and mortal souls. But drawing here by power within this temple, it could took.